السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله.
إمام حسين 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 إمام حسين.
He is the son of Ali and Fatima. He is the grandson of Muhammad Rasulullah. He is the carrier of the purest heart. In his blessed house, so he's shining like a star. He has the highest status one can gain.
Allah, look at the heart of Imam Hussein. Allah, look at the heart of Imam Hussein. Allah, look at the heart of Imam Hussein.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونستعينه ونتوكل عليه إنه خير ناصر ومعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه وأشرف أنبيائه ورسله أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. I didn't have opportunities to also thank a few of brothers and sisters who has participated to this program. We have Brother Shakiba from the Office of Leadership. We have Brother Mehdi Nahawandian, the son of the head of the President's Office, who is also in charge of IRIC, which we saw a good lecture tonight by one of the sisters which is related to this organization. And inshallah from this evening forward we are going to have every night one lecturer from IRIC. Also we have the presence of Muhammad Karimi, the one who announced the epic news of the freedom of Khurramshahr. You know that voice, that epic voice in the time of war, that whenever I hear that voice, I start crying. That voice is between us, and he has performed before some of you came. Also we have Brother Safari, we have ulamas here, we have Khudadadi, a very good alim who is actually every day he performs Jamaat, and alhamdulillah he's here. We have brothers from Austria and the sisters who has brought him to our program. We have Sister Nawab Safavi, the daughter of Shaheed Nawab Safavi is here. Sister Nawab Safavi. We have Rui Varan. We have a lot of brothers, sisters. Thank you all for coming to this program. We have also Brother Arab, who inshallah we will listen to his maddahi at the end of the program. We have got Dr. Wali Taimur Zadeh, inshallah, and brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. Salawat. Well, we had a very good night, evening, and we had good lectures, good talks. To continue our discussion today, I want to talk about the other aspect of Imam Hussein alayhi salam's commemoration. Everything have two reasons. The one is reason of creation, and the other one is the reason for continuation. And these two reasons are necessary for every single thing and being in this whole universe. If there is a reason for existence and there is no reason for continuation, you may come to exist, but then you will vanish and you will not continue. Now, if you look at Islam, Islam has got a reason to exist, and that is Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the message that he received from God and transmitted to the nations. So Islam was born, Quran has been revealed, and we have Islam. Al-yawm akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam dina. That is the reason of existence of Islam. But the same Islam, after only 60 years of the demise of Prophet, has transformed to something completely against the message of the Prophet. And here we need a new blood, a refreshment, a new setup, a new reason for this, the same Islam to be revived and continue. When we say why that Islam was completely upside down, we have reasons. Because the whole philosophy of revelation of the Quran and the coming of Prophet and all of those fights and struggles that we had was justice. But then, as soon as Prophet passed away, the aim and objective of his message was completely vanished. No justice anymore was implemented. So the whole philosophy was justice, and no justice was done. Because from A to Z, whatever you look, you will find injustice there. First of all, the message was supposed to be carrying on with Ali alayhi salam. Unjustifyingly, somebody else took the flag and took the seat. I don't want to enter to that discussion. That's a whole different scenario, and I'm not going to talk about it tonight. But the position of Prophet was usurped, and somebody else came into the power. So after the demise of the Prophet, until the time of Hoseini, it was only 5 years that justice was experienced, as Khalil Gibran says, as the other writers concerning Imam Ali alayhi salam in the Voice of Human Justice talks about it, as all of those people who has written about Imam Hussein alayhi salam and Imam Ali alayhi salam is writing, only 5 years the land has experienced justice after the demise of the Prophet. But before that and after that, it was total injustice, while justice was the reason. To that extent that in the time of third Khalifa, every single close relative family of the king and the Khalifa had a position. To that extent that everyone were coming to talk to each other to say, let us go and research if there is somebody who has not got a position and he is related to Usman, to tell him that you have forgotten about this particular person from your family, you have not given him a position. Anyone who had any relationship with him had a position in the government, either a governor or an officer or an institution was belonged to this person, and he was acting because he trusts that no one is going to touch him, untouchables. And it happens. So until the story came to Imam Ali alayhi salam, and Imam Ali alayhi salam started now reviving, bringing back justice to the community. To that extent that when his own brother comes and asks for share, and he is blind, he makes a piece of a stick, an iron metal, hot to that extent that he realizes the heatness and takes that piece of metal next to his hand and says, are you feeling the heat? He says, yes. He says, is it a bad feeling or is it a good feeling? He says, you are trying to burning me. And you're asking me it's a good feeling or a bad feeling. He says the same is with you. You are trying to burn me in the fire of the hell by asking a share from Baytul Mal, from the common money, because that is going to take me to hell if I give you. I'm not ready to do that. To that extent that even if Hassan and Hussein do something, he will punish. And if Zainab does something like that, also he'll get angry, while they never did. The first day when he become Khalifa, and he sit there into the power, elected as the next Khalifa, he received 2 of the great companions of the Prophet. 2 of them. They entered there. And as soon as they sat to start talking, there was a candle there. There was no electricity like that. There was a candle burning there. So he took the candle and he said, turned it off. I said, why you are turning off the candle? He said, because you guys have come for a personal issue. And this is not a personal candle. It is belong to the government. And I cannot let the candle be burned while you are talking about your personal issues. I'm not allowing to do that. And they just left without even talking. He said, the man who is not negotiating on a candle, how he can share power with me? How he can give me authority? They didn't even talk about it. And then later on they fighted against the same Imam Ali alayhi salam. They created war in Jamal and the other stories that you all know. To that extent that the great Christian author who has written the best book on Imam Ali alayhi salam, Sawtul Adalatil Insaniyah, the voice of human justice, he says that Imam Ali alayhi salam has buried with justice. Justice also was buried with him. And he is the victim of his own justice. So the justice was the whole philosophy, and that was no more practiced. And then the war of the Imam Ali alayhi salam's martyrdom, then Muawiyah came into the power, and then the fight between Hassan and Muawiyah, and the peace accord, which in that peace accord, if they were implementing the peace accord, naturally Hussein was supposed to be the leader after Muawiyah. But then Muawiyah had his own agenda, and he had prepared the ground for his son Yazid, which I told you about his life. If you want to know who is Hussein, the best person probably I can tell you is Qusay, the son of Saddam Hussein. And a spoiled, drunkard, womanizer, gambler who has no any ethics of anything. He does not know nothing about ruling a government and dealing with the financial and the political system and the army. He never fight. He doesn't know what is meaning of sword. He just know what is the taste of wine and woman. That's finished. Nothing else. All of a sudden the man become the king. To that extent that when a minister want to become close to the president, to the Khalifa, he would go and kiss the hand of the monkey, which was loved by Yazid so much that he had a special seat next to him, calling himself Khalifa to Rasulullah. But then next to him there was a special seat for a monkey, and any minister comes, first they kiss the hand of the monkey. It was Ummul Qais or something like that. He had a name also. He had nice clothes. Luxurious life for a monkey while people were suffering in his kingdom. He is so much intoxicated with wine and women that he is busy with his small party and dancing on all of those stuff that he has been given the news of the defeat of his army in Rome, that your army had got a plague and so many thousands of them dead. And he punished the person who brought the news to him, says, how you dare to come when I'm enjoying my life and I am busy with my joy to tell me about bad news. They killed him. That you're giving me a bad news while I am enjoying. That is the type of the kings that we had, calling himself Khalifatul Rasulullah. The type of people in that time living, unfortunately, that they also deserve such a king. They also deserve such a king. Salawat. One day they wanted to test people. He tells to the king, you can do anything you want with this type of people which they are following you. He said, how? He said, test it tomorrow. On the morning prayer, you test. He says, how? No problem. So tomorrow the king comes drunkard, full drunk, no any sense. So he stands before pray. And he says, Allahu Akbar. And he prays 3 rak'at instead of 2 rak'at for Fajr. 3 rak'at. And everyone follows. Everyone follows. No one has raised any question, but the Fajr prayer is 2 rak'at. Why you have now made it 3? To that extent that he stand up, he said, if you guys want, I can have it 5 rak'ats. Drunk. Told them. See? That's the kind of people, unfortunately. So, here Imam Hussein has got a big mission. Either to cope with a person like this, accept it, then that will be an example for the history of mankind. Today, we can sit here and we can talk that we had a great leader like Imam Hussein who was infallible, and that infallible person has accepted a person like Yazid. So why are you refusing? Why are you fighting with Saddam? Why you fight with Shah? Why you fight with King Abdullah and King Salman of Saudi Arabia? Why you fight? Your leader, a person like Hussein, already had paid allegiance to a person like Yazid before, so you can also accept his authority. What's wrong with you? He didn't want to have that example left behind. So he didn't accept. That's why he says, Misli la yubaya'u mislah. A person like me, with this caliber, with this attitude, with this value, with this status, cannot accept a person like Yazid with that caliber and that status. I am not ready to accept the authority of a person, even if I lose my life, and even if I lose the life of my children. He sacrificed his own life and the life of all men who came and accompanied him in the day of Ashura, one by one. And 18 of them were his own sons and brothers, and the sons of brothers and the sons of the sisters. 18 members of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam in half a day sacrificed their life, from a child of 6 months old to Imam Hussein alayhi salam himself. Such a great sacrifice, just to teach us a lesson that justice is more important than anything else in this world. And Imam Hussein can lose his life for it. Now, Imam Hussein sacrificed his life. It was 2 options. Either to leave it there, or to transfer it to the whole part of the world, as Ayatollah Rashad also said today. There is a famous poem, that says, Karbala dar Karbala mimand agar Zainab nabud. So we need a messenger for the message, to take the message and relate it to the whole world, transfer it to the... So Zainab is the news agency for Imam Hussein. Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam is the news agency for Imam Hussein Ali, for Imam Hussein's revolution. He takes the news. They are the narrators of the history. They are the photographers of that graphic scene of Ashura. And they are the people who has recorded every single event, from the martyrdom of Hazrat Asghar up to the martyrdom of Ali Akbar and Abbas. Everything was recorded and kept intact to that extent that Dr. Zahra Zamani can come and sit and talk to you about the details, the graphic details of whatever happened. Because we had a good reporters with good memory like Zainab and Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. So they transferred the message to everyone for us to have a good idea what happened in the day of Ashura. Now, our mission is to keep this message alive. That blood must be kept fresh because we need it later on. Now, the problem is, my brothers and sisters, that the whole message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is unfortunately misunderstood. Just now that we are sitting here, millions of our Shia brothers in Pakistan, in India, in Africa, in lots of other parts of the world are busy sitting in the same type of programs. Some of them, they have got this chains and they beating themselves on their back to that extent that the blood flows down. Some of them has got this qamas putting on their head and the blood comes down. The rest of, there are so many people crying and weeping and all of that, while the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is not these things. You completely forgot the message and you busy still commemorating Imam Hussein alayhi salam, while Imam Hussein needs you and you are not going. You know, there was somebody who was always saying, Ya laytana kunna ma'ak fanafuz fawzan azima. Oh, Imam Hussein, I wish I was there to be with you, and if I was there, I was going to sacrifice my life. Always he was having this prayer. So one night, he had a dream. Wow, it is really the day of Ashura, and it is Karbala. And Imam Hussein is left alone. And he is there. So Imam Hussein says to him, oh, you have come here to help. So he says, he can't say no. Say, okay, if you want to help, he is the horse and he is a sword. Jump into the horse, go for fighting. And the man started shooting. Yo, I'm going to die. And as he was sitting on the horse, Imam Hussein was called by Zainab. As soon as Imam Hussein turned his face, he ran away. The wife, wake up, what is happening with you? Why you are running away? He says, woman, you know, yeah, I am glad that Zainab called Imam Hussein. Otherwise, you were going to be a widow now. That's exactly what happens. So many of us, we always ask for help, ask that we have been there, but when it comes for the time of test and examination, my brothers, it will be difficult. It will be so difficult. But alhamdulillah, we are living in an age that we saw with our eyes people whom they never feared this. Never feared this. And I saw them. I'll tell you one story of one brother. He is alhamdulillah alive today. We were in the front line in Wal Fajr number 4, right at Kanimanga and the heights there, that side in the Kallakandi next to Ilam. And there was a height that side. So, and the missile came and created a big mess, and then the pieces of this missile has actually hit this brother. And when the dust settles, I heard Ya Hussein from one of the friends. probably about 10, 15 of my brothers and my brothers that time, they already become shaheed. So no voice were coming from him. Here there was one person who was injured. And so I realized that the blood is coming out of his chest like the pipe. You know how the blood comes out? Just like that. Blood was coming out. So I immediately went and approached him, and I had my turban. I untied it to his around. So and as I was doing the tying of my turban on the wound of this brother, with his weak hand, he was preventing me. And he was saying, look at Hassan, another friend who also needed help. But I told him, Hassan is already shaheed. And he was looking, is there any other one that you can help instead of me? Let me become shaheed. And finally, I insisted. I closed the ties, and we managed 4 or 5 of us to organize a type of brancards and take him to the hospital, to the small clinic that we had behind the front line. And alhamdulillah, later on I realized that this brother saved his life, and he is among of the majruhin. But believe me, that time he was not allowing me to do this. It's exactly the story of Karbala which you see every day. In the time of fight, brothers, this is something which happened to myself. Because we were in Takhrib with the destruction part of the army. So the commander of the army came and said to me that we need 15 people for tonight to be in the front line, and they have to deal with mines. And Hoseini, let me also tell you something. There is no hope of them coming back. These 15 people, we need people who are ready to sacrifice. So I don't want coward people to be selected. So please, Hoseini, go there, make this clear for them. We have about 400 people. Talk to them very clearly and tell them that, look, if you are coward and you are afraid of this, please don't accept. Please don't accept to enroll your name. Because if you do so, you are actually acting against the army. Because we need this ground to be cleaned of mines, the land mines. We need 15 sacrifiers, the true warriors, the non-fearing people from this. So we need such people. So go and see how many of these people you can talk to them. So there was 500 people, and I came and I had a lecture about Imam Hussein and a sacrifice and the martyrdom and this and that. And I tell them, brothers, this is the story. We need 15 people. With all of the things that I said, do you know how many people wrote their names there? From the 500 people, 150 people wrote their name, and there was already fight over. One of these people cried. He was crying that, why you are not putting my name there? This is an opportunity. Real fight was going on about this position. Good message of Hussein is alive. And believe me, each of those faces that you look at is, if they were in the day of Ashura, definitely they were among the Shuhada of Karbala. It is alive still. Now, this message has to be kept fresh. That's true. But now you need it, you're still talking about keeping this fresh. While we already in the ground, we need this to be used. We have so many peoples who are weeping and crying and tears coming and all of those things, but when we need them in the ground, they are not ready to go. Imam Hussein doesn't need such people. Imam Hussein needs people whom when they say, Ya laytana kunna ma'ak, فَالنَّفُوزْ فَوْزًا عَزِيمًا. When it comes to the ground, they must be actually ready to sacrifice. So tonight we had a lot of lineups of lectures and all of that. You are tired. I'm going to end to this point, and inshallah let us have a little bit of a morning for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and then we have Brother Arab with us too, inshallah. Listen to his Maddahi in English. These are the sorrowful night of the commemoration of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The sister Zamani and the brothers talked about Ali Akbar. You know, when you have a teenager in your house, especially with this teenager has got characteristics that you love. Concerning Ali Akbar alayhi salam has been said that ashbahun nas bi Rasulillah, resembles Prophet. So whenever Hussein misses the grandfather, he asks for Ali Akbar to come, embrace Ali Akbar, kiss Ali Akbar. And this is a question you always probably ask, why 3 sons of Hussein named Ali? We have Ali Asghar, we have Ali Awsat, we have Ali Akbar. You know what it means? Ali the big one, Ali the small one, Ali the middle one. You know the philosophy of this? It's because Ahlul Bayt were so oppressed that naming Ali was forbidden. In society, naming of Ali was forbidden. Just imagine. Somebody, just to become happy, just to gain some money from Muawiyah, he went to Muawiyah and he said to Muawiyah that my mother has cursed me by naming me Ali. Change my name. I was listening to a clip today that one day Fatima asks Ali alayhi salam, when you are going out in the streets, does people utter salam to you? He said, my beloved wife, not that they utter salam to me, but when I utter salam, even they won't answer me. So in such time, Hussein has got a type of struggle. The struggle of Hussein is, at least my own children, I put all Ali, 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 Ali. If he had 12 sons, he would put name of all Ali, because they won't stop you of putting your name Ali. So for them to recognize, so is it Ali the big one, Ali the middle one, Ali the small one. So we have Ali Asghar, who becomes Shaheed by Harmala. And then we had Ali Awsat, which is Imam Zain al-Abidin. And we had Ali Akbar, which is Shaheed Karbala. That's the one narration. The other narration says that in actual fact, Imam Zain al-Abidin is the Ali the Akbar. But because between the Shuhada of Karbala, we have the big Ali and the small Ali, both of them Shaheed, so they called Ali Akbar Ali the big one. However, the name of Ali Akbar, and he resembles the Prophet. Whenever Imam Hussein and Zainab and the family of Prophet misses Prophet, they look at Ali Akbar. Great son, great son. So in the day of Ashura, everyone goes for fight. First of all, non-Ahlul Bayt had a vow. They had a vow together that we should not allow until we are alive for Ahlul Bayt to go. So they had a vow together, like the kind of Habib ibn Mazahir, Muslim ibn Awsaja, and the rest of everyone who were there with the army of, they said together, he said, we should not allow Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet, to go for fight until we are alive. When we die, that's another story. But we are alive, Ali Akbar goes to war, that's impossible. So, a lot of the Shuhada of Karbala already shaheed. Now it's turn for the family of Hussein to go one by one. So here the first person who comes to Imam Hussein alayhi salam is his own son. Very painful. Your own son comes and asks for permission to go for fight, and you know that this is going to be the last meeting between me and my beloved son. Before, whenever somebody goes, he may rethink, may have an excuse, but the only one that Imam Hussein had never had no excuse.